Building a modern American luxury destination traditionally follows a specific sequence. First, the wilderness is removed, the wetland is drained, the forest is cut, and the earth is flattened until the terrain is perfectly sanitized. This subtractive pattern defines the foundation of the country's most famous resort towns. From mountain valleys to coastal stretches, the land is cleared to create a blank slate for development. Once the substrate is wiped clean, developers stack identical amenities on top of the empty ground. Without a unique underlying landscape, the luxury experience becomes a commodified product. By eliminating the localized wilderness, the global real estate market accidentally made its most expensive destinations completely interchangeable. The newest generation of wealthy buyers is reaching a saturation point with standardized luxury. There is a growing indifference toward high-end developments that feel identical regardless of their coordinates. Industry data reflects this shift in the form of massive price premiums. This chart shows that affluent buyers are now paying 30 to 50% more for properties that possess a verified sense of place. A true sense of place requires an underlying ecosystem that remained operative alongside the built environment. It is a quality that cannot be replicated by capital alone. Capturing this financial premium requires a rare historical condition. The luxury market must exist in a place where the original environment survived the standard pattern of erasure. Naples, Florida has spent 60 years branding itself as the Paradise Coast. Its public face is one of manicured lawns, white beaches, and refined tropical elegance. Beneath that marketing surface lies a structural anomaly. The city sits directly inside an active, regional wetland system that was never successfully removed. The city's layout is a direct consequence of a massive 19th century failure to drain the region. Pennsylvania industrialist Hamilton Diston and subsequent state projects committed enormous capital to clearing the wetland, only to be defeated by the geography itself. South Florida sits on a permeable limestone aquifer where water moves at a regional scale. Because water flows underground, surface drainage could not interrupt the system. Developers were forced to build inside this constraint, cutting canals directly into the existing hydrology, threading the built environment through the swamp. This geological accident inadvertently preserved a multi-billion-dollar ecological substrate that other luxury markets spent decades destroying. The result is a condition of coexistence under asymmetry. Modern property law and ancient biological systems are forced to occupy the exact same ground, neither having the power to eliminate the other. This tension is visible at the interface, the precise line where a maintained residential lawn meets an ancient tidal mangrove system. The wildlife found in these residential canals are permanent occupants connected to a vast hydrological network. They are on the property because the property remains part of the larger system that supports them. This local network connects directly to the Big Cypress National Preserve. The Panther Corridor begins at the eastern edge of the metro area, bringing apex predators right to the boundary of the region's luxury real estate. Every property title in Naples includes an unwritten relationship with occupants whose claim to the land is older than the institution of property itself. The resident owns the land, but they occupy an interface. For 60 years, regional marketing focused on features Naples shares with every other coastal destination. This effectively rendered the region's most distinctive, non-replicable asset invisible to the market. Continuing to develop under that older logic carries a structural risk. Each decision to fragment a corridor or engineer away an ecological edge slowly spends the substrate that creates the region's unique value. A second logic is now emerging among buyers who recognize that the untamed substrate is exactly what justifies the region's high valuations. They are moving towards the very features that traditional marketing once selected against. High-end ecotourism now operates within the same spaces as luxury hospitality. These sectors have begun to converge, addressing a buyer pool that treats engagement with the active ecosystem as a primary amenity. The substrate acts as the primary economic differentiator. It separates this market from global competitors that have already spent their ecological capital and have nothing but interchangeable amenities to offer. This is the eco-luxury convergence, the realization that the commercial interests of real estate, hospitality, and conservation are now structurally aligned. Protecting panther corridors and maintaining wetland connectivity serves a clear capitalist function. It preserves the specific asset that supports the region's current pricing power. Every development decision either consumes this unique substrate or capitalizes on its preservation. The region's economic durability depends on whether it protects the conditions that made it non-interchangeable. The continued presence of the wild ecosystem provides the structural foundation for the massive price premiums the market now commands. In Naples, the preservation of the wild is the mechanism that secures the value of the built environment.